Well, Tori and I have a fun story about that too. It's a very short story, but we invited everyone over for dinner, including all the like the girlfriends and stuff. Um, and my contribution was macaroni because it was like one of the handful of things I knew how to make, and so I made some. And Tori didn't even like macaroni, and she was like suspicious of being gluten intolerant or whatever maybe, but she just like wouldn't eat it. But I like really wanted her to try it or something, so I had her get I gave her a bowl or whatever, and it was like overcooked, soggy-ish, and yeah, disgusting. Well, maybe not too bad, but still not really worth eating, I would say, unless you're me. Apparently, um, she yeah, it was like she didn't really know what was going on until recent or until like 5 or 6 years ago. Um, we were kind of like, I wonder if it's this, I wonder if it's that, and she would like come home after eating some corn chips or something, and or going to Gringos. And she'd come back and like we were gonna go to her parents' house after, but she ended up just like laying on the floor and curling up in a ball because it just like was hurting a ton. So we kind of like found a pattern and we're like, hey, it must be this. I think it was mostly her found it. She found the pattern, but anyway, something like that. So she's been pretty good with it recently. Still like mentally battling with it. Like all the good stuff has gluten. I'm sure. Oh yeah. Hmm. Like reach out and ask. Yeah, it is complicated. I mean, there's stuff that she's found that works that we just replace it with. And things that I've found that I actually really like. Like I really like cauliflower rice and sometimes like zoodles or whatever, zucchini noodles and crap. So, right, yep. Has to be certain types of rice. Yeah, get smoked. Take that. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. All right, y'all. Should we do this? Oops. Okay, cool. I don't remember how to do anything. That. Okay. OneNote. Is that the one? I think it's this one. Okay, cool. I can see my mouse now. Yeah, you guys remember all that crud that happened up there? You got those nasty bugs. What? Yes. Sort of, yeah. He noticed something in your hand and was a little surprised to see it. Headed, into his house though, and was like, "Come on in, guys. Um, I want to finish out the night of sleep, basically, because remember it was like 5 a.m. So he, right, threw some stuff in a notepad, um, and then told you to come in and uh, sit down on the couch, which let me see if I have. I did work on it at one point, but I don't think I actually stuck it in here, so I don't know. That's all right. Um, well, I had his house layout actually set up a little bit anyway, but I'll figure that out sometime. Okay, let's get rid of this though. Oh yeah, no bugs. At least not those. So you'll notice up top here, kind of the explosive stuff still. Maybe we should put some black because there's like charred crud around. So still currently, flaming and on fire. You can see smoke out there. And then you guys are, yeah, now. in Cobb's house. Um, inside, you can see he has a couch. Next to it is actually, so the couch you're sitting on. Next to it is a fridge. So go him. Um, and then he has his, oh, whatever. Let's do this. All right, I'm drawing it. Okay, so you got couch here in the corner. You've got that thing outside. That's outside. Here's the doorway for outside that you guys just came up the steps on. There's a wall here. There's a bed in here. Because he's, well, I guess you know that because he says, I'm going to bed. And he heads out that way. And then you do see there's kind of like a walled off area here. Cool. And then there's a desk over here with a bunch of nasty stuff on it, just like kind of gross pieces of animals and meats. And there's kind of a nasty smell, like a smell of iron and blood and just things coming from his house in general. And then you guys are sitting here next to the fridge and his little table for himself. So he does have a kitchen couch in homage to us. So yeah, you guys, we can say it's now 7 o'clock or so. It's been a couple hours when you hear an alarm go off, some rummaging around in this room, and he comes out. Sure, sure. Oh, so like if you guys are asleep still, are you guys gonna go to sleep? Okay, yeah, that's great. I mean, it's like a short rest for you, so yeah, go ahead. What'd you guys all get? 10 and 16. And Michael's guy doesn't sleep. He kind of just chills and either walks around or yeah, or I don't know, reads books that he apparently can read because no one else can. Yeah, I don't get why it keeps doing this. There we go. All right, so Todd comes out, um, and he's, I guess, looking at you guys. So, uh, what did we didn't really decide, but so who's sleeping and who's not? Who? Let's see. So Tom was sleeping and uh, got a 10. Is that right? Okay, and Dory got a 16. Um, so Tom, you hear the alarm, and it kind of wakes you a little bit. And so I guess you can either choose to keep laying there or not, but Dory keeps sleeping. Okay, so he sees, I guess, not very active people, and so he starts walking over to this bench here. Starts messing with some things. If you peek your eyes open at all, you would see him moving his hands around and such. He is staying relatively quiet, but I mean, it's a boarded floor, and so there's squeaks and such. I don't know if you've ever been in a house like that, but it's surprisingly loud with the wooden floors and all that. Um, and so looking back at you guys, he heads back downstairs, or he heads over to this thing. and disappears out of sight. What do you guys want to do? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then it would be going against your, let's see, 7. Oh gosh. Okay. So depending on what you were trying to do, you did succeed for sure on one of them, and then just I guess let me know what you're wanting to know, and then I'll figure out what to do with that 20. Okay. Yeah, you do scan, and your attention is drawn to this both the this kind of the creaking sounds you heard from the staircase that I've pointed out up here. Um, there's also kind of uncertain, I guess within your programming and such, it would probably say stuff like unknown, unknown specimen, uh, and source unknown, things like that. But all coming from this little table here with the desk and chair. So you guys could investigate that, or um, I mean, it's really up to you. He thinks you're asleep, probably. Okay. Do you wake up, Dory? So wait, so what happened? Wait, what? Did Dory kick Tom, or did Tom kick Dory? Oh. Okay. Well, with Tom's 20, uh, so you were trying to kick at her or nicely brush her on the like with your leg. So Tom nudging you in the leg with his 20, nudging you in the leg, he accidentally points his toes a little bit too much and uh, scrapes you with the toe of. Are you wearing shoes or are you barefoot, like sandal or whatever? Yeah. So you can. With one of your toenails, you scrape. So Tom scrapes Dory, and Dory takes 1 point of damage. Take take that with his 20. So I'm gonna start there anyway. You'll be okay, Dory. I promise. Not really. Just waking up. All right, and then you hear. Can you hear this? And that's over at the door right here. And you hear, Cop, Cop. And here, over on this side now. You're Cop. Hey, you in there? Hey, you. So nothing, nothing. Comes back over this way, and you kind of see some shadows and such right about here peeking in. There's I didn't mark it, but above the desk thing, and then above this sink area, there is a window. It appears to be a guy, kind of leaning over the desk and such right here, looking in the window. He says, I hear something. Is that you, Cop?" Said, "All right, Cop, I'm coming in." And then to shut the door, it was already closed. Oh my gosh! So he's gonna try and open it. Okay. So yeah, you hear more pushing and like kind of thudding on the door, rattling with the handle. He said, "Dang it, Cobb, that's Hoyt. Let me in." What? What? That's not Cobb over there. Who's in there? Hey, hey, listen, go get Cobb for me. Or who's in there? Who is that? Oh, those three guys, the three boys who wouldn't take my map or take anything from me, any of my help. Is that you? The only child of Autumn that I've seen recently is three men over at that tent when they first got here. Is that you guys? Just let me in already. He starts swearing. Dang it, let me in. All right, well, whatever. All right, Tom, you'll be or downstairs, right? Okay, so you're gonna head downstairs. Fun. All right, so you get to the stairs. In the stairwell, you start to smell the like the iron and meaty smell, like the blood and guts type of junk. It's even stronger as you get closer to that staircase. Um, you're going down the stairs. Yeah. Oh shoot. Tom smells nothing. I forgot. Okay. Well, so then he goes down. He's got no problem with that. Forgot you guys have a cat. It's funny. All right. Here we go, and then let's go. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So you're coming down here. Come down. I mean, you would smell and both see some stuff just kind of on the ground. Um, he obviously has not been cleaning at all and has been doing some pretty gross stuff with bio, um, not machinery, sorry, but like bioscience experiments. Um, there's like, yeah, there's like a mop bucket over here, surprisingly, but it's like right next to a pool of like blood and gore and crud, right? Um, got a couple things here. There's a chair with some blood stains on it. Okay, and he is sitting. Um, let's see. Let's make him. No, so this no, this is just a. It was a like a wooden house. This is just kind of a basement down below. Like cemented floors and cracks in the floors. Cement walls, kind of just like an unfinished basement looking thing. Cool. Um, so he's sitting here. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Yeah. Okay, he's sitting right here. And there's a computer in front of him. Um, he's just kind of clicking away on stuff, and he does happen to notice you, of course, as you're coming down. And he says, "Ah, yes, you're awake. Let's. Did you need something, or? Okay, okay, perfect. I thought I heard something, but I can never be really all too sure in these parts. There's always crud going on. All right, so he heads. He starts walking up the stairs. He's like, "All right, come on." He says, "Come on, kittens or kitty, come up here." So you follow him, or so? Okay, so he's walking up though, and uh, he says, "All right, who's needing me?" And then you hear, "Yeah, you guys are over here." Oh, 1 second. Let's see. Dory, you will be disciplinary action. Okay. So, so Cobb stops there and puts his hands up, and he's like, "What? What do you need?" And you hear outside, "Oh, hey, hey, Cobb, is that you?" He says, "Yes, it's me. What do you need?" And he still has his hands up in the air, and he's kind of just playing along. He's kind of smiling to himself. And Hoyt says, uh, uh, um, "Well, you better hurry. The plant up north, uh, something happened to it. There's a lot of smoke coming out of it, and it's not great. I know we like the whole town is gonna have some issues with this. This is not good." And he kind of chuckles to himself and he says, "That's all right, Hoyt. You can deal with it. I'm not too worried about it." He says, "What? What?" He said, "No, no, it's true. It's not a problem. It's not going to stop my research. It's not going to stop anything that I need to do. You can go ahead and deal with it." Hoyt says, "The the factory. You guys don't know anything. You guys have been here with Cobb." And Hoyt says, "Well, I know Cobb doesn't have a husband. Also, he's a male, but and I well, actually, I don't know. I guess he can do him. But anyway, so you guys were here. Oh, my apologies, miss." And Cobb says, "Hoyt, Hoyt, do not worry. They have been with me all night. I'm not worried about the Nuka-Cola factory. It has nothing to do with my plans." And Hoyt says, "All right, well, if you need me, I guess that's where I'll be." And so you start to hear kind of thudding, and he takes off running. You can hear like gravel and dirt kind of kicking up as he takes off. So he's now heading back up this way, kind of the same way you guys came from. Cobb Cobb looks over at you, hands still up, puts his hands down, and he says, "Guys, I know this was you. Don't you worry. I've got you covered. Now I need you to tell me what happened." Uh, okay, well, I suppose he might need to tell me then, but what do you. And he points at Dory's character and says, "You tell me the story, quickly." Which one? I see. And where were you when it blew up? Exactly. Were you guys in with it or right next to it? Wow. Pretty hardy fellows, you three. Any injuries? As far as you can tell, anything lasting? During the fall? What the? Okay, well, alright. Well, that's ne- neither here nor there, I suppose. Um, did you tell me about this bear? And he points to the bear that Tom was holding, and it's currently on the floor. Fell fell on the ground, I'm sure, when you were sleeping. Okay, so there's that, and he points to the little stuffed bear. If you remember, it had like a slice in the back, and then it was stitched up over that slice. He says, "Where did you find that?" A stranger scientist. So did someone break in, I wonder? He's muttering to himself. Hmm, a stranger scientist. Well, all of those bears were in my area, in my refrigerated area for the the tagging devices. Uh, so we were trying to keep it all cold in there and making sure that those uh, trackers stayed viable. Blowing it up was not great, but I guess we'll just have to hurry along with the other trackers that we have. I think I'll need your help, though, if we're going to speed this process up. So I have a task for you, little gremlins. And he says, up north, there are some, uh, well, there are some chickens that did get out, and I'm going to need help, well, essentially wrangling them up. Um, there were two that had trackers put in them about a week ago, and we have lost track of one. The other seems to be not handling the tracker well, you could say. So I'm going to need you to head up there, um, and I guess please don't stay there too long. Remember, we're going to meet at dusk um, for kind of a group tagging session with the other scientists that I have. So if you guys will head up north, we can have you take care of that. Um, yes, you'll play tag with some chickens, if you don't mind. I do need to give you this, and he walks over. So let me pull out the green. Um, where was he? He was like right here before. Goes over to Michael and reaches toward Michael. Well, I guess he pulls something out of his pocket and reaches toward Michael and seems to poke him in the stomach uh, with something in his hand that's metallic looking. Does Michael do anything as he's doing that? Resist any or anything like that? Oh gosh. Okay. What do you do? Yeah, you can. Yeah, it would be 2d20. And then that's versus what was it? Uh, so it was either science or I think you went. We could do. What was it? Melee that we usually go with. Okay. But yeah. So let's do the intelligence plus melee. So just under 11 or 11 and under. Okay. So you start charging up, and he immediately like looks down at your hands, takes a step back, and um, yeah, and he starts kind of sidestepping as well, kind of circling you a little bit, and he says, "Hold still, it's okay." And he sticks his hand out a little bit more, just like kind of as if he's dealing with a wild animal, like cautiously but um, surely, slowly starting to kind of edge toward you still. He says, "I'm just going to give you this tracking device," and he reaches toward you a lot quicker. Um, oh no. And um, he ends up poking you in the head with it, so he completely misses where he's trying to go, trying to aim, and as you know, leaning forward a little bit, so he kind of loses balance a little as well. Um, so yeah, he's just trying to reach for you, but he's not doing well. You see him stumble a little bit over. Yeah, they're charged. They're charged. Give it another 2d20 real quick. I just want one more success. Yeah, you got it. So you charged it up, and then you're gonna put them on him. Let's see, what was it? Shot canned, 4 energy. Okay, from your melee damage, resistance, for unarmed. Can benefit from your perks for unarmed. Oh gosh. All right. And so you see both. So Cobb both sees and feels the heating up of your um, hands as he's trying to regain his balance. He puts his other hand on like kind of like where your shoulder would be to try and regain balance, and that's when you make contact with his shoulders. Okay, with his two shoulders, and you unleash. So let's see how well you do. Um, it was 4d6, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, and you guys are back. Okay, well, 1, 3, 5, and 6. No. So you've done 3 damage, and what is this shot canned? Do they stun or anything? No, they do not stun, but they freaking hurt. Okay, well, I guess there's no other um, pieces to it. Okay, so we'll go back to this. All right, so Michael has done, in our terms, 3 damage to Cobb. Also, something to mention as well, with uh, with each attack, you can add extra action point dice. Um, well, okay, so you would use more ammo type of thing, and you can use an action point, 1 extra damage per action point. You guys still have those 6. No, I'm not trying to. But yeah, you have anyway. I'm just explaining a rule mainly, but um, so if you wanted to do more damage, you can, and that's in any um, oh my gosh, what's it called? Any fight or whatever. So you can always do that. But anyway, so Michael charges up. Um, he can feel the heat and everything. Michael touches him on the arms, the shoulders, and you hear the release of the energy, and it's like right. Um, and you just hear kind of like a ow, you son of a, and he takes a few steps back. Um, and he reaches behind his back. He's wearing like a still his white coat that he normally would out in the field and such. Um, and he reaches behind his back and pulls out a. Uh, so it's mainly just kind of a this type of shape. Um, got this guy. It's kind of like a gun shape, but it's flat on both sides. Um, yeah, like oh whatever. Um, basically, you could just say it's a gun, but um, and he pulls that out and he says, "I've got one of those too." And he starts moving towards it and he says, "Here, look, look, look." And he starts charging up his little shocker device. You can see like little electricity coming through. He says, never mind, hold up, stop." And he looks over at Dory and he says, "All right, I'm just messing around, I guess. I don't know. I'm just a little startled. I'm just trying to give you a tagging or a tracker for the tagging. Will you take it and will you give it to him?" Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're kneeling down in front of him. Okay, good. I assure you, Sir Dick, can we insert? Oh, medic. Oh, uh, wonderful. Thank you, me, Dick. I appreciate your permission. Uh, can she put this stick into your mainframe? Even better. He says, "Me, Dick." Well, that makes sense. He does have a plus sign on his arm over there. So he is a. Well, that's not going to make sense to you. He's a medic, okay? So yeah, correct. If you won't do anything to stop her. Wonderful. Okay, so Dory goes ahead and puts the stick into the and yeah. So what's his name? Cobb. Now facing you and everything, he gestures to the spot where he was trying to put the little device. And there's this small little square that you can see, Dory. Um, he says, just push it in there, and rotate it about just a little bit. You'll feel it, and it'll automatically start to let that, and it'll pull what you're trying to insert. So just push it in close, and it will attach itself almost. No, no well, it's going to. He laughs and he says, it won't pull you in as much as you think. It'll pull the thing out of your hand, I guess. So go ahead. Yes, yes, please. Okay. So, Michael, within, uh, I guess, the inside of your character, um, you can start to see uh, the vague shapes of different numbers and letters, and then um, I could you could say like within your computer or your brain computer, um, you start to see tracking um, initiated, now receiving tracking devices A through AZ, ZZ, and then initialized. And then I guess everyone in the room then hears kind of a beeping noise as a just beep, beep. And so it's every handful of seconds, and then it stops. And Cobb says, okay, perfect. So now you'll know where to go to find the chickens that I was mentioning. So you can just head north, and you don't have to have it beeping all the time. And he's looking at Michael. He's saying, you don't have to have it beeping all the time, but if you want them to help you, you can turn that on and off, and the beeping will get a little bit quicker as you're getting closer. So you're kind of playing the hot cold game. Do you understand? Introspection. I'm unfamiliar. So does that make sense then? Oh, a game within a game. Introspection. You mean Inception? All right. Well, if you will, you can head north. Um, you might see Hoyt up there, up north, and I guess do what you guys normally do. Uh, you know, wreak havoc. I guess if you have to. Uh, well, he didn't see you just now, correct? So you're somebody else to him. Just talk differently than you did. Okay? And correct. And if you don't mind, I'd like to keep the bear, please. Well, actually, I see problems with that. Can I hold the bear for a second? And so he starts to kind of lean toward the bear, reach down and pick it up. And he says, hopefully this is okay. Don't attack me, please. He says this is one of my bears, but it's not really needed. And he turns it over and rips open the back of it. Um, oh no! And reaches in and grabs and pulls something out, and he says, "I think I could make use of this." And then he, I guess, picks up the bear with his other hand, or like holds the bear with his other hand, and says, I hope you're okay with this." And he holds it out to you. He says, "You can keep this if you'd like." and he holds it out to uh, Dory and kind of looks at Tom as well. So he hands it to Tom. It has a little bit of cotton kind of hanging out a little bit. Um, a lot more flimsy and floppy than before. But he hands it over to you. He says, "Sorry about that." And he has his hand enclosed, uh, like his kind of making a fist around a cylindrical object um, with a little bit of plastic on the end. Make a perception check, I suppose. So roll a 2d20. Yeah, sure. Actually, I'll have separate numbers for each of you though. Mostly Tom. Tom got a 1. Sweet. Oh wow. Okay, what Michael? Did you roll, Michael? 4 and 7. Okay. Well, no one else got a 20 though, right? Okay. Cool. No. Okay. So um, I guess all three of you. Tom especially notices that within the thing in his or whatever he's holding, so there's a little bit of metal. There's a small amount of green, has some liquid inside of it. Sticking out the end from his thumb and pointer finger, there's a little bit of plastic, and you see um, a very small and um, thin needle with the plastic cover over it. It says, "Ah, yes, yes, my insulin. It is my daily dose. It is my daily dose." And he got, oh no, okay, insulin. So he kind of leans and a little bit like shiftily on both, or like transferring weight back and forth on his legs slowly. He looks and glances at each of you and he says, "I have to know." And he opens up his hand and he says to each of you, kind of glancing at each one of you individually, one at a time, and says, "Do you guys recognize this liquid?" "It's insulin." "Yes, it's insulin." "You all are in agreement it's insulin?" Okay. And ah, yes, all of that is correct. And these three letters, and he points to some like larger white text on one of the metallic ends on the back end of it. "Do you recognize these letters?" And the color is white. Okay. They. Do you know what they say? Do they say insulin? Yeah, he laughs about like I did, really caught off guard. He says, "Ah, yes, okay," and he shows the other two of you. He shows the other two of you, Michael and Tom. He says, "Do you guys recognize this text?" And it says, well, I guess I won't say, but that's true. Okay, so Michael, um, let's see. I want to do this real quick. Actually, where's Vibes? Vibes, I am going to send you a message. That's what it says on it. And if you want to do a really quick Google search, I mean you don't have to, but I'll send you a couple things. This is like what you would know. Um, that's right. Okay, so Michael now has the information, and you can definitely look up more. Your robot would know a ton about that over the years, just with information he's collected. Um, he knows what that means. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. And he says, so Cobb says, "Do you recognize this?" A fire hazard. I suppose that's correct. Um, and he says, "All right, let me go take this downstairs, I suppose." Well, and he walks around. He walks to the back of his room, goes to his bedroom, from what you can tell, and just sets it on something in there. And you hear kind of a clicking noise as he sets it down. And he says, "I'll deal with that later," and comes back out and he says, "Well, I suppose you guys can head up north now. Thank you for that very important information." Hmm. That is true. Um, you can drink beer, and that's okay. But yeah, well, I don't have any, so I apologize. But oh, all right. Well, next time you're here, maybe I'll get some from the shops. So how about at dusk? I'll crack one open for you before we go. Maybe not a good idea, but it's fine. I think you guys can handle it. I mean, you survived an explosion or two after all, and as far as I can tell, you don't have. Yes, you don't have any side effects as far as I can tell either, so that's great. So I think you'll be just fine. All right. Well, hop to it then. He says, "I'm gonna, I suppose, go downstairs. You guys can leave. Um, maybe, I suppose, to mm, prove that you found them, can you bring me back oh, 2 feathers? There's two of them, so 2 feathers. Let's do that." Okay, 3 feathers it is then. Okay, correct. I mean, you can get more. It doesn't. I just want proof that you've actually done what I've told you and made it back okay. So, no, there's more fat. Okay, yes, there's more chickens. So, Cobb heads over to the door and opens the door and says, "All right, go ahead." Oh, up north. Remember, you can follow uh, me, Dick. Oh, like Richard? Okay. Well, I see where you got that from. All right. Well, uh, yes. Follow either the beeping or he can direct you. He can lead the way. So go ahead, Richard. I mean Dick. And he chuckles to himself about his dumb joke. So he's 50%. It's not bad. All right, and then Michael, here is the general path that you would be trying to go. Um, Obviously, you can do whatever you would like. Actually, sorry, that wouldn't be correct for what we have. Do this. So you can tell that there is something in this direction. So that's the way you're heading. How do you want to go there? Like just keep walking? Do you guys want to do anything here? So you get up to this point and you see off to the right, um, there's about 15 people. Um, about five of them are dressed in blues. Um, each of those five in blue have pants, like a lot cleaner pressed than everyone else would be, as if they're supposed to take care of it. They're in a uniform, um, and they seem to be communicating most with Hoyt. And then there's about 10 other people or so that just seem to be normal civilians, and then one guy who you recognize as the owner of the place, named Pete, if you remember. Oh, that's okay. And they are, yeah, you can see they're running around with like a little bit of uh, like buckets and such, and trying to put out any small fires and stomping on things, and yeah. As you're walking past, Hoyt yells, "Hey, where are you guys going? We need help!" Ah, jeez. All right, well, uh, holler if you need anything. I guess I don't know. We know where we are. Okay, so you guys are heading north. Perfect. Even better. Okay, so you guys are up here. Obviously you see water off to the left and right and such. Um, Rather uneventful, which is not, I guess, all that common. Let me give a roll here to see if you run anything before you get there. Let's do so under on both. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so uneventful all the way up. Um, so as you're getting closer to this landmark here that I have, let me make it bigger if I can. Just want that. Yeah. I don't know how to do anything apparently. Friggin' cube. Can I do this? Ah, it was. Well, this is very wonderful. All right, let me steal this then. Almost got it. This is why I want to get that. that dumb thing working. That Foundry thing. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'll need to, I guess, figure out a bunch of the map portion of it, but all right. And then we had, let's see, it was Tom was orange, blue medic, and okay, orange, red, blue. All right. So as you're coming up to here, um, oh my goodness, and you guys ran. That's funny too. So you guys are coming up to here, um, and you see, so this right here is a shed. So you see that off in the distance. Oh gosh, this is wonderful. Okay, so you see this shed right here, off in the distance, and sticking out of this door, you see something green, and the door is only slightly open. Um, and you're kind of are hearing more, I guess, of the last time I used this word, it was bad, but it was groaning and uh, I guess complaining coming from inside of it, and it's a deeper voice. Oh, jeez. Oh no. Oh. And it said, "Who's there? I hear something. What's that? I hear that noise. Wish I could see it." You start to see red a little bit coming out. Are you guys going closer or anything? See, just down by the rock. All right. The door. The door kind of kicks open a little bit more, and he yells out, "Hey, come here! Help! Help!" You can go up to him. Okay, as you approach, um, oh, whoops. So sorry. This is. Yeah, you can. Your beeping is getting, a little bit louder as you're getting, and you're heading the right direction and such. So that's good. But yeah, you can go ahead and roll. 7 and 16. Um, from your 7, you recognize the type of voice, and you would recognize it as what would be a super mutant. They frequently are like after they've changed from either human or whatever they were before, into super mutant. Their voices tend to be the same, and it's just like deep and gravelly. Smoking. Me no smoke. You come help or no? Yes, that me need that. And so you're heading up to them, get closer. Okay. Um, so up close, and then I don't know if you guys are coming along too or not, but just let me know. Um, okay. All right, sweet. So we'll put you guys up here too. The blue. Oh, Let's see. You would be. Yeah, you're used to. See, you've probably been wandering a bunch. I bet you've lived for. Have you? Has your character lived for a long time too? Like being a ghoul and such. I guess we've never talked about that backstory wise. So I'd imagine at this point, yeah, your guy knows enough about them to know that they're very dangerous. They're very muscular guys. Let's just do kind of a scribble and such. So he's just laying down, though. You can tell he's injured. He's holding a, or next to him is a very hefty piece of metal that looks awfully like a machine gun, which that drawing is not great in many ways. Oh my gosh, let's do this. This is for Michael. Let's do this one's pretty good. What the? All right, there's a super mutant in general. Um, these big beefy guys. Let's do one more. Oh yes, they're 7 feet tall at least. Like the smaller end is about 7 feet. So, oh wow, good heavens! Built like a brick wall. Okay, so he is laying down like this in there. There is um, marks of blood, gashes on his arms and back. His arm is quite mangled. Um, Obviously, his leg bleeding quite a bit. He said, "You help me! Help! The chickens! No, the chicken! Big boy, big one. Yes, heal, food, uh, med." And he's starting to, I guess, more blood around him. Says, "You help me!" What this? This to eat? He's starting to get more blood coming around him. Um, with what? Stab him with what? Oh no! That's awesome. All right, go ahead, Tom. Oh, okay. So you'd pr you probably see him starting to pull out his machete. Okay, I mean you can if you're physically trying to stop him, that's fine, but you can use words too. Okay, so maybe roll again if you're gonna actually try that, then maybe roll again. Oh wow, that's actually funny. Okay. You, I even set the difficulty to 3. What the freak? Okay. I know. So you actually end up lifting Tom up a couple inches into the air. You said you're lifting him up in the air, like above your head. Uh, I guess in a way up to him. We haven't ever talked about this. How much would you say you got? That's true, I guess. Do you know Tom? Have you thought about that at all? Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, shorter end, and do one more roll for, I guess, like, are you stout or small, like thinner? Okay, short and lean. I love it. Okay, so that you see a ghoul lifting up a human with kind of tattered clothes and such, but lifting him up in the air. He's holding a machete, and the super mutant is just staring up at both of you, saying, "What are you doing? Help!" So you would have like a you can pretty much do anything as long as you explain it and explain why, or not explain, but just kind of say like I want to heal his wounds or I want to treat such and such. Um, and so to be more specific with him, we were talking about his leg, his cuts on his arms and back, um, general bleeding, I guess. His arm is pretty messed up. Okay. So we got 8. It is a tagged one, and 16. Which are neither one of those are successes. So if you want, you can buy more dice or spend a luck point, um, that type of thing. Add details to the story. So you would have to be what number is here? Is this a 3? Oh, okay. So yeah, an 11 or lower, um, and we are going with 3 successes though, and we'll say you're treating 2 different wounds, stopping the bleeding. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. First aid action. A robot equals. Wait. Roll a test to overcome an environmental hazard. let's see. I gotta find your thing too that says how your guy. Yeah, because there's that trait. There it is. The first D20 you buy using. Oh, sweet. Okay, so you could buy two and it would only cost one action point. Okay. And so you could spend three and have three new dice. So up to you though. Okay. I mean, let's see, because you guys have six action points, you could technically buy four dice, but have zero action points afterward, which you can also gain some action points back if you remember that by having successes. So three or four up to it's up to you. Hmm. So I mean, I guess getting yeah, you get a re-roll, right? Of one of those three or four that you buy. So essentially, you have five that you can roll, up to five, I should say. Michael can tell that the chickens are still up to the north. Let me think real quick if, let's see, because you guys are right here. Actually, because I had to move it so much, it's about right here. Um, so northeast is what Michael can tell. You can't you can't quite see it in the distance yet, but you have a sense of knowing where it is though at least. Not on those, no. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Let's see. First aid kit. Okay, and you're trying to beat 11, so that's two successes. And then you still have another die that you can roll. And you didn't have to say, I'm going to roll five dice necessarily. You can roll the two, add one more, or whatever. So you need one more success to heal, like to start working on them. Oh gosh. What do you want to do from there? I guess knowing that you have a 20 in the mix, which is a complication of some sort. Okay. I mean, yeah, yeah, like causing bacterial infections as you go. Okay, but I mean, by that I mean, like, do you want to buy another dice? Do you want to stop there, um, take the failure, that type of thing, or do you want to succeed at a cost at this point, which would give me one action point to use, not necessarily against you guys, but to accomplish something I want. So how about this? I am going to take away a luck point from how about who has the most luck? Is that Dory? Luck point. Yeah, okay. So you're back to you were up at 8 again. Back to 7 because I didn't update it. I'm gonna take away a luck point and give you some information about the plot. Does that sound okay? Okay. Um, no, no, no. So his purpose, yes, is to point out that what you're facing is not a couple of chickens. However, um, the point of him is not decided on him to die necessarily either. And so he may be helpful, but anyway, the whole point wasn't for him to die, if that helps any. Like, that's not why he's part of it. Like, I'm not going to railroad you guys. Pretty much as I can, I'll never try and railroad you. I don't know if you know what that means, but like force something. Okay. No, I just wanted to, yeah. All birds and bugs. Love that. Hooray. Okay. So you can, let's see, you've done two extra, right? And those were both successes, if I remember. Um, and you did roll under, so you only need to roll one and get a success. Yeah, you can roll one. If it doesn't work, of course, you can roll another, but because you have up to two more anyway, right? Okay, cool. Oh, that's great. So, so Michael starts treating his wounds. Um, I also want to point this out. Um, I haven't mentioned much about this. Um, on so what you would know as your character, um, medications and such don't work as well on these guys, but um, essentially the way that I prefer to play them is if you're going to use one, you have to use two for the big guy, and it works pretty close to the same. Um, so I should point that out, and I should have mentioned that earlier. You could use a stim pack to help take away the need for a couple of dice. So, but yeah, Michael is now starting to treat him. Um, so you, I guess, with your shot cans and such, you are able to cauterize some of the bleeding, and he has a lot of yelling and screaming with that involved, um, which may or may not be attracting more things into the area, but we'll come to that at some point. Okay, and Michael's working on his arms and his back and starting to heal up. You can see that he's um, not losing any more blood and starting to feel or like look a little bit more alert as you're working on him. About 15 minutes or so of just kind of poking and prodding, heating up small amounts and cauterizing cuts and such. Okay. After a little bit, um, he starts to say, "Oh, Thank you, thank you. And he reaches for his gun and he says, I need meat, need food. And he's just sitting on his butt and he reaches out for the gun and grabs it and he says, help up, help. And said, where'd they go? Okay. Oh, you picked. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Okay. So I think at this point I'm gonna move back up here. We were right there. Okay. And you, Michael, start to see him moving around a little bit more, and he pulls his knees up to his chest. He says, ah, stupid science, man. Tell me get meat here. Me come here, me die, almost die. Me saw light. Tom's ears perk up. Something about light. So, all right. So he's now feeling a lot better. Um, Michael sees him stand up, um, head basically touching the ceiling, and he's holding his gun. He says, "You help me kill big, big beast. Me go." And he starts walking out the door. Yeah, you help. I can do this. You help me. So they were heading, I guess, general east that way. I don't know how far necessarily. It's or I guess how soon they started walking, but so you guys are now here. So okay, so probably like 8 or 10 minutes has passed or so. Follow the what? The beeping? Okay. Yeah. Um, so you and your rocket thing, he kind of looks back at you and notices you're slightly deviating from his path. He says, What that beeping?" And he says, "Oh, actually, 1 second. Okay." He says, "You know where to go. I follow." And so he follows. I got a one on one of his rolls. Well, it was more like to kind of understand what Michael was doing too. All right, so getting up closer, and we'll see what we can do with this dumb thing. Nope. Awesome. Who? There we go. All right, and then let's see. How do we get Michael and Tom up north also? That's the question. Or yeah, sorry, Dory and Tom. Okay, so you're about right here. So now you're heading north. So you just kind of turn. I guess you guys start to see, of course, these train tracks as you're getting to about here. And I would imagine you're kind of following train tracks just because you see those. Okay. We're tracking. Okay. So as you guys are getting closer, yes, you see. I wish I could zoom in on that more. All right. So vaguely, here's this portion here, which I'll explain in a second. The green is the typical symbol that I've been using for those little science outposts and such. So there's scientists, there's the metal tent, or sorry, the canvas tent with metal poles that are kind of thick, the ones that Michael tripped over. Um, so that's over off to the east of it. So we'll go down to this guy. Yes, the beeping getting a lot uh, more consistent and louder. Uh, yeah, you start. Yeah, you you hear quite a bit of barking and clucking, and as you're getting more north coming up from here, you can see into this general area. Um, so you can see some movement right here, here. You got one on top of this table here. There's a couple things in here, and then so they're currently just movement is all I've said, but yeah. So there's um, these guys. They are the fun old chickens that we were talking about. These nasty boys. There you go. And I'm sure that on a couple of them, maybe they have like a somebody who's poked him with a hot iron that says Happy Thanksgiving, and it's had a week to heal. Oh no. Okay, so yeah, there's a few of those guys. They don't seem to be all that crazy or anything, but they seem to be walking around, um, but with all their either running or just like jumping around, poking at things on the ground, they don't seem to have any real purpose, like what they're trying to accomplish, right? Um, Super Mutant Boy, was he green? He's walking up with you guys, and then Dory and Tom, are you guys there already? Or what? Okay, cool. Sounds good. Um, yeah, so they're kind of just walking around, and Super Mutant looks over at him and says, "Not these guys, too small. But I come back for snack. Uh, he likes to hide um, in dark areas. I could tell. He tried to hide in corner of room, and that's when he attacked." And so, Michael, let me throw this over to you real quick. You can feel a little bit of movement that is significant, I guess, and it's sort of pulling you to this area. And it's sort of um, moving your attention to that. Okay. Just the one actually is beeping. Like there's just one beep. Okay. Can't remember which one Michael was. Blue. Okay. And as you're getting closer, you start to see the red dots of the chickens um, start to perk up a little bit and look over at you. You notice all of them are looking at you, all the ones that you can see, and they're sort of following you with their eyes. Michael and Tom, or sorry, Dory and Tom, are you following with next to him or hanging back? So the chickens, I would say, um, let's give them a height. I'd say they're about 3 feet tall. Pretty stocky things. Um, you know, 2 feet wide or so. So a little bit bigger than a normal chicken, but you can see there's um, more muscle on them, on their bodies. So Michael's moving closer and closer. Biddies. All right. Let me steal something so I can know timing of where you guys would be, I guess, if you're just moving closer. There it is. Pew, pew. All right, I have them in front of me. Okay. So, Michael, you're about halfway in. Underneath there is another tank that you can kind of be near and go and work your way around, but that's the tank outline. Um, you see over in the corner, let's put big ol' red, taking up about that much of the room. Over in the corner, this guy. Hooray! Kind of a little bit more blurry. I should have gotten a better picture, I think. But he disappeared. Okay. And as you're getting closer, your kind of like text that would pop up on front of your in your sight. It says Thrasher detected. Um, current status. Yeah, current status. Unaware. And I'll kind of point this out. The I guess so. He is already tagged. Cobb hasn't really said exactly. Do you guys remember what he is said to do? um, let's see. How about let's do um, the three of you. Let's real quick have you do an intelligence check. 4 for Jasper, 7, and then 8. Okay, so this is just a straight intelligence. 3. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Tom already is good with his 3, and then Michael. Okay, sweet. Okay, so what did you get again, Dory? Okay. So Michael and Tom, um, you vaguely remember something about feathers being said. Dory's character does not remember. Um, so if you remember what you're doing, but while you guys are kind of slowly moving your way toward um, the green guy is up there, and he comes up close to Michael right behind him and pokes his head around the tank here, and says, "You, you hurt me!" And he um, pulls out his machine gun and he aims and he shoots right at the bird. So let me pull him up real quick, and then I want this. Actually, you know what? Steal that. Oh yes, he did. Equipment. Sorry, one sec. Trying to grab his. There it is. Apparel. I found the rolling pin. There he is. Okay. Nice. Okay. So he's gonna give this guy. Oh my gosh. He's what a dummy. He kind of just you see him lean back a little bit, yell, and he holds the trigger down for a couple of seconds and goes pop, 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 pop. Right. So he probably shoots about 10 shots. Every single one of them misses, and he starts shooting above um, the back. So you start to see holes appear in the back of the kind of metal backing of this little building, this enclosure that you're in. See, there's like 10 of those there, and then here's old Chicky, big boy, and he's just cooped up there, make him angry. There you go. Okay, so he shoots in, completely whiffs and misses, and so you see the chicken kind of startle awake, look over at you guys, um, pointy beak and all, big glowing red eyes, um, and you just hear a loud roar that hurts your ears a little bit. It starts maybe even causing some ringing later, that type of um, screaming noise. Um, and then he stands. Yes, tinnitus inducing scream. And he stands up. And then, depending on if you guys are going to start shooting at him or not, but he'll be coming pretty soon. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds, I suppose, to decide if you want to start shooting. That's so funny. So I guess, yeah, Dory's person thinks that she's still supposed to tag, or that he's supposed to tag still. That's awesome. All right, so you guys probably are going to start attacking then? Okay. All right, so we have Tom, whose initiative is 12, 10, 11, 16. Huh. So the turkey actually goes right after. Okay. All right, so he stands up, lets out the scream, and he charges at old green boy. So he is leaning back there. Oh yeah, true. He is bleeding, huh? And so he's running straight at kind of like the tank and like straight at this area right here. He's just charging. Um, let's see, what do we have on him? He's sorry, he has melee, so he has to be at 9. Yeah, go ahead. Oh gosh, double 18. Um, yeah. So you can tell with those 18s um, that he looks like any other old turkey slash chicken. Um, and he does have some meaty spots, as you would expect, that could be pretty tasty. Usually, on his back hindquarters, his drumsticks, and he has some large talons, as Napoleon Dynamite would say. Okay. So yeah, he charges the super mutant. Um, he did not succeed on his rolls, and he slams into the side of the tank that's right there. The tank does kind of budge a little bit, kind of moves like half an inch as he slams into it at full running speed force. Um, and then kind of is stuck up against it and goes down onto one knee. Okay. Oh, sorry, I haven't pointed it out. So it goes Tom, Michael, Dory, 12, 11, 10. So, Tom, do you want to shoot at it or something? Oh, yeah, that's right. You are a melee dude. Okay, so you've been following him in, I suppose. Probably up next to protect. Oh, sorry, my headphones cut out. What did you just say? Perfect. Okay. So go ahead and do your, yeah, your 2d20. Um, no, I didn't. Sorry, what'd you say? Okay, roll one more. A 10. Okay, so you've got your 6, 13. Okay. Okay, you actually succeed on one. Um, so I'm gonna say you get one, like one slice does make contact. The other one misses. So yeah, so yeah, you see Tom uh swing at it with his two machetes. Uh, so he's got one swing just kind of right after each other, one coming down vertically, the other one horizontal, and he swings down and um, then go ahead and give a damage roll. And I will actually do this too. We've got head, body, leg, 6, 12, 18. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, what was you rolled a one? Nice. Okay. And then if I'm remembering right though, your guy would roll more than that to do more damage here. You can roll three. You got a one, which does one. Oh, sorry, no. You're rolling the d6s for yeah, for attacking you get sixes. Sweet. Okay. So yeah, do they do okay? All right. See there. 2 damage. Oh, sweet. Okay. No, that's actually awesome. Um, so what you guys see happen as he swings down, one vertical, one horizontal. With his vertical strike, he actually hits the chicken who is facing to the right. So with his left-handed swing, he swings down and smacks the bird right on top of the head. It actually does piercing damage. Your machete does, which would mean that it does an extra damage for each time that you do that. Um, so Tom ends up doing one, two. No, it's okay. Yeah, so Tom, you end up doing four to it. But yeah, Tom swings down. the head of the rooster kind of gets bounced up and down as you make contact with Skull. Um, it does pierce through his kind of thicker skin, um, and it looks at you and screeches one more time. And you start to hear, as you do that, or as you are screeched at, you hear some rustling outside. Okay, so 39, 35. Okay. And then we have, next was Michael. Okay. What are you looking for? Oh gosh. Wonderful. That's fair. Okay. Give me just 1 second on that. Come on, Mythic. So I'm pulling up something real quick on um, things that I have not decided, but I have a generator. And so I ask Fate a question, meaning um, I'm going to say that you have Bane in charge of that pretty well. And so I'm asking the question, is it explosive? Explosive. And doing, yeah, it's ring 7. And it's rolling. Oh, wow, okay. So on the tank, um, let's see, what would we have there? So the answer is yes, it can be blown up. Um, I may need help on thinking how exactly, but let's see. So you see on the tank, um, the top hatch is open, um, and someone could climb in there and look for more, I guess, more information on it. That's what you notice with your quick look, I guess, your quick glance. I'm going to ask another question on it real quick. Likely. The answer is likely. And yeah, you can decide what to do, sorry. Wow. Okay. Okay, and you could, I guess you could kind of gesture. Is that what you're saying too? Okay. Okay. Cool. And then, so I would say that's a minor action. You can still do a major action of, um, attacking or whatever you would like. Okay. So just like movement. Okay. I would say that you recognize um, on this side here, there's a spot where it looks like you or someone could kind of shimmy your way up and climb up into this top hatch here. Make the top hatch orange. That's lame, but whatever. There you go. Here's the top hatch that's open. Cool. All right, so then Dory, you're up next. Do you have the tagging gun? Do you think you would? Because that's an easy one to decide. Would you have grabbed it from Tom for any reason? Mess around with or anything? Remember, he had both of them, is from what I remember last. Okay. Yeah, you can just hand it to her. Mine, just say that's like a. Well, just say that's equipment, so you can still have a major and minor action, so you're fine. Just grab it from Tom. So, like, tagging. You say that out loud. Up to the uh, big old chicken. Perfect. Okay. The big chicken right here. Um. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's taller than the tank. It was hitting its head on this thing, so I'd probably say like 10 feet tall. Pretty beefy. Yeah, big guy. Ride it. You have to get some. You have to get some bigger guys for you to fight if you're riding this beast. Let's see what do we got. Oh, that's funny. I mean, I feel like it would be charisma and speech for your like messing with the chicken, trying to handle it or whatever. But okay, so Dory, you're gonna go poke it with the thing, the tracker. Okay. So you go up to it and go ahead and roll, and we're hitting, in this case, agility because it's kind of more of a. Oh, wonderful, cool. So you go up to it and you poke it in the side, or like the neck, or what do you want to poke it? Okay, so you're aiming for the neck, but you hit him in the side. Okay, all right. So as you, yeah, let's do that one. As you are kind of pointing it toward the thrasher is what it was called. Um, you pull the trigger and you succeed to poke it in the side. Um, I need to not try so hard to give. I'm like distracting myself with descriptive details or whatever. So you poke it in the side, um, and as you release the trigger, this little syringer pops out of it and sticks to it, like so. Um, and very briefly, you see the movement of the plunger kind of go down, back up, and then the whole end piece falls off, and you end up with just this guy. Beep, beep. Just that on the side of it now. In response, the chicken sort of looks at you, and its body seems to relax for a couple of seconds. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. So we can have you preparing to climb on it. Let's see, because you did. Oh, let me also point this out, because I feel like we don't touch on these very often, but they're always available. So you have had successes. Um, you guys have 3 action points still. Um, and you can spend 1 action point to do another minor, which in this case would be to climb on it, I believe, because that's like a movement. 2 to do a major, like an attack or similar things. Let me pull up a little refresher. I can't honestly remember, but anyway, if you would like to try and get onto them now, you could with one action point. Okay, sweet. All right, let me see this stupid thing. Fish. There we go. Let's see. Obtain information, reduce time, additional minor action, 1 additional minor action, and then 2 for that here. So I wasn't just making stuff up necessarily anyway. But I'll have to refresh on that again though. Yeah, so you see Dory start to climb onto its legs. So her feet are now on top of its knees, and she puts 1 leg over it and is now sitting on top of the creature. Yeah, 1 arm on the neck of the thing as it's kind of just relatively limp. Both legs, as if it's kind of roosting, that type of position again, just sitting. And I know, yeah, we're still in combat. Just wanted to make that clear, but um, I have a specific, yes, and I have a specific thing that it is doing currently. So it would be, oh, so Dory just went. Now it is other thing. You start to hear noises getting closer, and lots of clucking and bagocking, I guess you could say. Um, and I guess you don't have to necessarily roll, but the chickens are coming in through this area right here. No attacks or anything can be made by them. They're not close enough, but essentially that's what they would be doing. They're making their way over toward this guy. And I'd say they're about, 10, 15 feet away from the tank here. And so now we have whole super mutant again, and he's going to shoot real quick. And why is he so bad? No, he's shooting at the big one again because he wants all that meat. Yeah, he, leans back once again to kind of brace himself, and he misses, and he riddles the side of the wall once again. That's so funny. No, I would say no because he actually, so he rolled a 14 and an 18, so not a success for him. Um, but I'd feel like a 19 or a 20 in this case would be hitting Dory. And so, 5 bullets or so just hitting the back wall once again. Yep, there. But that's it. But let's see, who was it next? Michael, right? I think. Okay. Yeah, and you can go ahead. currently chicken sitting down. At the moment, I think we're having you get ready to start climbing on it, so you're about right there, like on the edge of it. So you're wanting to like climb in. Is he? He might be. Camera. Sorry, Tom. Oh yeah, 12. Whoops, I had it backwards. Okay, so Tom would go first. I'm gonna mute myself for just a second so that I can go to the bathroom. But you can go ahead. I'll be listening if you would like to talk, but give me one sec. Why am I being so long? Okay. Okay, I'm back. I could hear you. All right. So maybe let's do this then. We can have uh, Tom. Maybe let's do your attack. And then I can write it down, and we can stop from like hold on from there. Um, and I'll write down also that Michael is trying to climb in, and I can prepare the inside of that tank if that's what you're gonna do as well. Um, yeah, we can just have the one last little roll, I suppose. Okay. So machete, is that right? You're still gonna attack it, or attack the little chickens, or so? Yeah, there's the one big one, and then the many. So like the 10 or so that are trying to pile in. Okay, so probably closest one, I would bet. There's one like right here. Um, so you roll 20s for aim, uh, and so 2 successes will get you that. And then um, 6 and 9. Oh, okay, sweet. Okay, so you've definitely hit, and then go ahead and do your 3d6s. Nice. So I'm pretty sure that's 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus a trigger. Yeah, that's awesome. So Tom succeeded on both. Okay, so Tom swings down at the first front chicken um, and it swipes its head clean off. And so now it is um, one of these guys. Oh, yeah, baby. Where did we have? Oh, I covered him up, huh? But so essentially the headless chicken. lots of meat down there. Um, so he's essentially a running ball of a little bit of feathers and muscle. So he chops one head clean off, and then probably going for the next closest one, probably, I would guess. All right, and swinging for, let me do this one. We're gonna say that bottom one. Got one, two. It's 50-50. There's that. Okay. Okay. On the second one, you swing at it, and as it's moving kind of past you, trying to jump out of the way, you swipe both of its legs off, with a loud, yeah, loud crunching noise. You hear like breaking, yeah, turkey bones and, um, yeah, loud cluck, and it kind of spins in the air and lands back on the ground. Um, yeah, with, missing legs up in the air, so it's just sitting there head first. So we've got that, and I guess we'll end there. Um, yeah. So the green mutant, starts yelling at Dory. Says, "Get off him! I want to kill him and eat him." And he says, uh, "That's my turkey. Just get off, or you die." Do not stop me. I'm going to kill you next week. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right. We can end right there though, but um, yeah. Um, and then um, Rafter has 34. Cool. The big one. Yep. Plus dint dint. Michael, you know what I'm writing. There you go. Opioid. I love it. Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for playing and staying up a little bit later we than I intended to, at least. So yeah, I mean it's like kind of slow, and I feel like I've always been meh with combat, but hopefully it's still relatively enjoyable for you. Oh yeah, no worries, no problem. But well, thank you guys again. I'll let you. Thank, thank you. Good, good, and yeah, and like I said, I'll pretty much always try not to railroad. So like, yeah, the whole. I think the plot is trying to do this. It's okay if you know. I'm going to roll with those punches anyway. So you can kill a person that I present, or you can do whatever. So no worries. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. helps me keep focused. Yeah. Well, sweet. Thank you guys. I'll let you guys go to sleep though. Once again, sorry. Love ya. All right. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you. Bye. Dude, I don't even know. All right. Good night.